Celebrating show 100 on Lessons in Life and Love with Coach Riana Milne. Today you get a bonus. It's 2 shows in one. It's the Mindset for Success in Life, Love, and Business from my masterclass that I held last week. You're going to learn why this mindset is so important, exactly how to use it in life, love, and career. What is the difference between people that have the mindset and people that don't use the mindset? And you'll hear from class students that I have right now, right in the beginning of their training, on how their personal transformation is happening already using the Mindset for Success system. All this and more today on Lessons in Life and Love. And by the way, since this is show 100, right after this, I'll be taking a small break since I've been giving you 100 weeks of free, valuable, educational content and giving myself a little break, then coming back with season 5.
Welcome to Lessons in Life and Love with Riana Milne, where we show you how to have the positive mindset for success in all life areas. It's time to have the life you desire and the love you deserve.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 4 and celebrating Show 100 of the Lessons in Life and Love podcast. I'm your host and Global Life and Love Coach, Riana Milne, coming to you every Friday on the lessonsinlifeandlove.com website and on popular podcast apps. I'm all about helping you transform your life in all areas into one that you're passionate about and to help you attract and have the love that you deserve. I'm on a mad mission to change the way the world loves, so you'll learn how to have emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious love and how to avoid toxic, painful, and traumatic relationships which seem too prevalent today. It's time to help you create the life that you desire and to have the love that you deserve. So if you have a personal concern, I invite you to meet with me for a Life and Love Transformation Discovery session during the week. Simply sign up at my website, rianamilne.com. So let's dive in, love angels and transformers. Today is a bonus podcast because it's my show 100, and it is the Mindset for Success class that I did for my private coaching clients, and now it's available for you. This 2-hour program will tell you so much about how to use the Mindset for Success, so you won't want to miss a thing. So enjoy this for the next few weeks, and I'll be back with season 5 of Lessons in Life and Love. I'm so glad you're here for the class of how and why the Mindset for Success transform your life and success in business and in love. To me, it's such an important topic. I have been studying mindset really in my late teens. And what got me inspired to do Mindset for Success was when my very best childhood friend, Michael Marcucci, was killed by a drunk driver. I needed to make some sense out of that. I was questioning how long did I have to live. I was only a teenager. We were 16, and he was my best buddy. I just started reading the Masters, Tony Robbins, Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, The Course of Miracles. So I became very spiritual and introspective since 17, 18 years old. Then I joined a Course of Miracle classes in my young 20s and studied that. I went to a group weekly through 27 years old in Erie, PA. And I started to do a lot of writings on mindset from all the masters I was studying. And at 26, I opened up a model and talent school and agency with my first month's rent and a prayer and a dream that it would work. Because by then I had 2 little girls and I just left a very toxic marriage. My husband and I opened a chocolate store called 24 Karat Candies in Philadelphia, and it was going amazingly until he signed a deal behind my back with 3 strangers that I never had met for 17 mall locations. Even though I got $25,000 sales with like the Philadelphia Flyers and chocolates and the Gold Nugget Casino for Turndown and top department stores, I was doing all the PR and marketing and this custom gorgeous chocolate boxes and custom logos. Philadelphia Flyers, if you ever got a chocolate hockey puck, that was my idea to their season ticket holders. So I was always in PR and marketing and really loved coming up with creative and innovative ideas. But if you have someone sabotaging you from the other end, it's really hard to be successful. So at 26, I'm looking at $750,000 bankruptcy, left with only my peace of mind and a dream. And I said, what can I do to support my kids and be able to pick them up from school at 3 p.m.? That was not a 9-to-5 job. Opened up a model and talent school and agency, and I'll go into that a little bit later. But that's a little bit of my story and where the mindset came from. But one thing that by then, even at 26, 27, with a post-secondary school, It was funny. I went into Harrisburg and they said, you're going to appear before the Board of Education to become a school. So I didn't know how big of a deal that was. It was just me and my books and big, thick notebooks to meet every requirement that they need. And there was a big U of people, 40 people, and a table for me and 2 other chairs. So there, where's your attorney and your accountant? It's like you're looking at her. So 26 and naive, I went in with a mindset for success. I needed to support my kids. This has to work. There was no doubt in my mind. That's what had to be done. And I got passed and I left saying, wow, this was easy, but I didn't realize what I was up against. So many people in Erie, PA, it's a small town, said a modeling school will never go. You're crazy, you're out of your mind, nobody will come. And 6 months later became an international award-winning model and talent school and agency, which I had for 10 years. And it afforded me to buy a home for my daughters and I before I was 30. And 2 years later, I bought another home and made that into my school. Totally rehabbed it. Again, the mindset was what made it successful because I wasn't able to get a loan due to the bankruptcy at 26. So, and I look back, I'm 62. I look back and never did I get a loan for any of my businesses. It was all mindset work. It was all creativity and what can I do and thinking outside of the box. This part of my curriculum for my students has always been super important because they are questioning their careers and am I doing work that lights me up and makes me passionate, or am I in that daily grind? Basically with Natalie and Casey, also we're doing career work as well as working on relationships and getting them beyond the pain and heartache of either love trauma or childhood trauma. So it's all interconnected. Mindset is always at the biggest core and what we start out with first and before we even go into love. You're going to find out why that's so important tonight. People listen to my classes like a podcast. So I usually do present the slides with all the writing on it so that they can hear it if they're not able to see it. Okay, so tonight's class is how and why the mindset for success transform your life and success in business and in love. And at first I sent it out with life and love, and I'm like, why am I not doing business? Because business is such an important part of your life. Think how many hours we're at work. So if you're not happy at work, you're not going to be happy in life. So I go into some business stuff tonight. We're going to a roadmap of creating this amazing life for you and attract emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious relationship despite what's going on in our world, this whole COVID thing. But that's why I want to do mindset. Tonight, we're going to cover what exactly is the mindset for success and how does it work? Why not having the mindset keeps one stuck in life or career? And when does this mindset work in business and the ability to attract and keep emotionally healthy love? And where can you learn this mindset so you can change your life too? I'll go into that. My goal is to have you learn as much as you can. The 3 attendance gifts are worth $1,500 when you stay. You're going to get 3 Mindset for Success special reports, Introduction to Optimization, Gratitude, and Mindfulness Practice. This is something I just wrote up this week. Very often when I have a class, I come up with new special reports. You all will have a chance to meet me for a Life and Love Coaching Transformation Assessment or Session. The assessment, you only really need to do it once because we go into the childhood trauma or love trauma from the past. So if you've had that, instead you'll do a 30-minute complimentary coaching with me on mindset and how you're doing and where you are at this stage of your life. And also you'll get the free class, 10 Ways to Attract Emotionally Healthy Love and Avoid Toxic Partners. So that'll be a video link that you will get. I do promise to tell you how to learn about the success system and how you could work with me if I were your coach. Why do I care about this? Well, as I shared, I'm someone who experienced past childhood dating and relationship trauma. Really, this was the only thing that got me through the tough times, my mindset. That's all I could count on. I couldn't ask for help from my family. My first husband basically stole $200,000 from my mother. So that actually took me 16 years to pay back as a single mom, but it was the right thing to do. And I live in integrity. So I had a very tough younger years in my 20s and 30s, but I had a great time because my mindset created a business that I loved. The Model and Talent School and Agency was so cool to have for 10 years. Then I went into psychology after that. It's what's made me successful in business my entire life. I could create a vision of the business that I wanted and make it come to life without anybody's help. And my research not only helped me, but also my clients healing who are experiencing same fear-based, negative, or sabotaging lack mindset that 90% of other people also experience who have childhood or love and relationship trauma. So exactly what I'm teaching you, I also needed at one time. Very close to the subject. I'm very empathetic about what my clients go through. I've been there. That's why I love my work. It's my purpose and passion work. And then especially what's going on with COVID right now. Oh my gosh, guys, I just, really wanted to bring this topic to my family on my email list because we all need help. We all need encouragement during this time. I am a licensed mental health counselor now, August. It's 21 years. I'm starting in business 21 years now. And I've worked with people in trauma in all different settings, schools, hospitals, every grade level. It's just in the past 7 months, COVID, the stats have shown, have caused higher anxiety, stress, and moodiness in people. The suicide rates are extremely high due to people losing hope in their businesses. High depression rate due to suicidal isolation and social isolation. Loss of jobs, income, and stability. There's an increase in alcoholism, pot, and pill use. Violent crimes and homicides are up 37%. There's an increase in divorce and breakups, increase in weight gain, which also causes people to be depressed. And because we're inside and not exercising out in nature so much, it suppresses our immune systems as well. How one handles a difficult transition is in direct correlation of how successful your mindset is working. With the coronavirus, our entire world as we know it has changed. Most people around the globe are quarantined to their homes and worried if they or their loved ones may get sick too. It's a very anxious and depressing time. Those of us with childhood trauma usually gets triggered emotionally at times like this. Anxiety can well up in your chest. You feel it in your heart, your head, or your gut. It's important to know the skills to calm yourself down and to tap into the mindset for success when under stress. Be sure to listen to many of the Lessons in Life and Love podcast shows that will help you through this crisis. Also consider signing up for a Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session, which is a 1-hour session meeting with me to begin your journey on ending the trauma response for you now. Now is the time because you have the extra time to learn these essential life skills right now. Just go to rianamilne.com. That's rianamilne.com. Right now, this session is only $47 and has a $500 value to assist you during this time. That's rianamilne.com, and right on the homepage, you'll see the button for a Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session. I look forward to seeing how I can help you best. Stay safe out there. Ask yourself now, are you really having a hard time with COVID? Way back, I think I gave a spring class. I said, use this time where we are forced to isolate to have a new project, a new educational class, pick up a coach, learn something new, learn a musical instrument, clean your home, anything project-wise to keep your mind busy. Super important during tough times. This topic is also really important because you want to understand why you might be struggling to start your own dream business or with dating and your love relationships. You want to know how you can be more successful in business or create one that you love, and how you can eliminate the negative, unconscious, fear-based thoughts and destructive patterns that are sabotaging you today or in the past in life and love. This is for you if you're amazing at your work, but horrible in your exclusive love relationships, or fearful and just not being successful in dating, or you hate your work. You feel overwhelmed and stressed out. And you have no time or energy for dating. And you're thinking, this is not what I want to do. I want to feel more passionate about the work that I'm committing to 40 plus hours a week. Or you're tired of dating all the wrong people. You might be getting dates, but one after another is not right. And then you just end up settling for less. You're ready to know also exactly how to find that ideal partner for your future. I'm so happy when I hear about engagements and marriages throughout the years of my clients. They're so excited to tell me their updates. About twice a year, I do update emails. I'm like, all right, gang, tell me where you are. What's new? What are you doing? And the stories that come in are like so phenomenal about what they learned. They're still practicing on a daily basis. They're close to engagement or exclusive. It's just really wonderful to see their updates. You might also be finding yourself in toxic cycles of fighting, emotional or verbal abuse, or other dysfunctional behavioral patterns that seem to be escalating by your partner, your kids, or your career, which would continue to ruin your chance at having a loving and lasting relationship. It's really a shame in our schools that they don't teach us what an emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious relationship is or what it looks like. It is a major life skill. And believe me, I'm a self-help junkie. I have read over 350, 400 books on spirituality, relationships, mindset. So I tuck that into my courses, which is part of my research, but it also includes a lot of psychological journals, stats, because of my clinical background in psychology. In general, if you're feeling anxious or stressed or exhausted, don't beat yourself up. I mean, this COVID has been very hard on people and you're depressed, but think pre-COVID too. Were you in that state as well? Or just feeling not happy, or the years are going by and you don't feel passionate about life or where you are. In general, you just feel like you're stuck on that tightrope of life because you're just going blindly through life without purpose, without passion. You're waking up, it's another day. My people wake up with the 3 things they're going to do that day, what they're going to do that week, that month, that 6 months. It's a mindset system that helps you to really focus and get so much done. Here's Natalie's picture. I love this story. And again, we've only been together 8 sessions. And she's about halfway through her program in Dating to Mating. And this is what she wrote for me to include in the class tonight. So I'll read it for my podcast listeners. I went from feeling stuck and confused to having goals and a clear life path, including setting a time frame for renovations and selling my house, and setting a time frame to move to Sydney. So she had just left a toxic marriage, had a home to totally rehab, sell, get herself off to Sydney, create a new job. I mean, talk about transitions, and going through this in COVID. When I met her, she had ongoing anxiety, depression. Her ex was not helping her at all. It was a battle. She says, I replaced ongoing anxiety and depression with a process to empower and energize me daily so I can focus on getting tasks done that take me closer to my goals. This is what we're talking about, and this is from her module 2. I learned exactly how to reframe my negative thoughts to more positive ones so I can take the right type of actions, which is giving me more focus and confidence, and I get more done throughout the day. And I'll tell you, she has gotten so much done. I'm so proud of her. The house is up for sale, and she's well on her way soon to go to Sydney. I'm bringing more awareness of my thoughts about myself and the discipline to change what no longer works for me. Coaching gives me a safe place to examine my limiting beliefs and how I can overcome them while building up my self-esteem. I'm learning how to speak my needs. Again, that was something she was not used to due to childhood patterns. No fault of her own. Our childhood trauma is not our fault. We grew up in a family dynamic that was forced upon us, some good and some negative. Unfortunately, those patterns stay stuck with us as adults until we do the trauma healing. So that's what all my clients do. We get rid of all those patterns that do not serve them. She's learning to speak her needs and confidently say no to the situations that don't serve her and yes to the life that she wants to live. I'm also using my personalized coaching sessions to help me become more accountable to me, so I keep committed to my goals even when challenges come up. I'm so excited. I already have a new career direction that I'm thrilled about in coaching. She is going to be a coach. We're very excited about this new idea and starting to get her ideas together about her new passion topic and business. We are well on our way to her new career. This is Casey's story, and Casey, feel free to add anything in the chat you'd like. Working with Riana as my coach has helped me gain a clear understanding where my toxic habits, negative thought patterns, and limiting belief systems stem from and how they hold me back. I've been aware for some time that my actions were self-sabotaging, but Riana's been an amazing accountability partner for me when I feel myself slipping back into bad habits. When I first started working with her, I was allowing multiple toxic relationships to ruin my life and hold me back from pursuing both my career and relationship goals. I've struggled with anxiety, depression, and deep limiting belief systems my entire life. And Riana has helped me understand how my deep subconscious beliefs show up in my daily life. And I have this one saying, and it's so true, you can't change what you don't understand. And people really don't understand because this education's really new. Trauma work around childhood trauma and love trauma is really fairly new. I created the childhood trauma checklist several years ago, and I kept doing trauma work as part of my psychotherapy practice. And then I got into coaching in 2009, and I was seeing the same patterns over and over, and it's the top 10 list. And that's why I asked you in the emails, please make sure you get the free ebook at rianamilne.com about the childhood trauma piece, because it's so much about a part of us as adults that holds us back. She says she's giving me the tools and the assistance in helping me consciously reframe them in a compassionate way that empowers me. A big challenge for most of my life has been setting personal boundaries and holding those boundaries. Working with Riana doing coachings has really helped me stand in my personal power and hold my boundaries on a personal and professional level. I'm also in the midst of making a career shift and starting her coaching business. And Riana has really helped me face my fears head on so that I continue moving forward to make this change a reality rather than a dream. And I believe just this week we had her session 7. So a little bit about me, and I'm sorry for those that already know me, but for the new people, just so you know a little bit about who your host is tonight. I am a certified global life, dating, and relationship coach. I'm also CCTP, a certified clinical trauma professional coach, and a certified mindfulness coach. So what I do is global life, love, trauma, recovery, and mindfulness as a coach. And that also includes, like I said, a business coach. I'm a licensed mental health counselor now 21 years, both New Jersey and Florida is where I live, Palm Beach County. A dating and life coach on the docu-series, which was called Radical Dating, Finding Lasting Love Over 40. There was 5 coaches and 5 contestants. My client, Scott, was a gay male, first to get out dating, become exclusive with his partner, and now he's happily married. None of the other contestants' clients have married. I'm really proud of Scott, and you can see his story on my website, rianamilne.com. At the bottom, there's a video of him. I am a #1 best-selling author. I've written 7 books. I'm working on my 8th one about trauma, and I'm a licensed certified addictions professional, both globally and Jersey and Florida. So that's a little bit about me. I've done a lot of writing through the years, so you'll see my articles on eHarmony, digital romance. I've done a lot of news appearances. Favorite was on 9/11 when I was asked by NBC News to come on and help families deal with the trauma of 9/11. And of course, me being a single mom, worried about my daughters, called me and said, can you come to the news station right now and come on and tell us about trauma? And I looked down and I said, yes, I'm in a royal blue suit. I can come. I was in gym clothes that day. So I went right down and just spoke from my heart, and they asked me back for 3 more news appearances, and from there I was on other news. Plus in South Jersey, I was all over the news for my program, Stand Up for Friendship. It's an anti-bullying program that I did in Vineland, New Jersey that worked extremely well. If you don't know, I have a podcast out called Lessons in Life and Love. It's all over every podcast channel. You can get it for free. lessonsinlifeandlove.com or my YouTube channel. I have over 250 tapes now, plus my podcast is there. And I am celebrating 100 shows. Finally, this week I'll be taping show 100, then I'm taking a little break. I deserve a vacation for 100 weeks without fail. I have given my clients and my email list free content. That's who I am. I'm really passionate about helping those who are in my world, and there you're going to find a lot of valuable content there. And I just got the award in Delray Beach, where I live, for 2020 Best Psychotherapist and Life Coach. That was kind of a nice surprise. I got that in February. And I've done films and podcasts for many years. My book, Love Beyond Your Dreams, is 400 pages full of great research, and went to #1 bestseller in several departments on Amazon. And both Live and Love were picked up from Barnes & Noble, where only half of 1% of self-published authors get in there. So they had me in as a speaker to help others become self-published and get into BNN. That was a childhood dream of mine. And I took the sample book and I put it on the bookshelf and I took a picture, and it's like, one day my books will be sold here. Again, the mindset. My mindset gets me whatever I want in life. I'm telling you guys, I've been using this for 40 years and it works. And one of my COVID projects with my new time is Trifecta World. And it's smart, sexy, and successful and winning at the game of life. And after I train my clients, this is how they feel. They feel smart about where they're going. They feel very sexy about themselves. And they're very successful building the life that they want. So this was built in the spirit of my graduates, but also it's one of my projects to give back to charities that I'm very fond of. My best friend, this was another trauma that happened to me at age 24. My Penn State roommate, Corinne, was murdered by her boyfriend. My give back, 10% of products that you order goes to two charities, AVDA, Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse, and OUR, Charity for Sex Trafficking, if you buy a logo product. So it would have the Trifecta logo on there. There's all kinds of things there. Do me a favor one day, stop in and pick something up for yourself or a friend and feel good that you're donating to a very worthy cause. I would truly appreciate it. Here we go. What is the mindset for success? It is a system I came up with, again, a long time ago, that I taught my models, actors, singers, and dancers to succeed in their talent of their choice. And this was in a little town of Erie, PA. And they ended up being on the Rockettes. Natalie Rattana was with Pamela Anderson on the show VIP. There's all kinds of people, commercials, Law and Order, soaps. They were all over the place. And it was really phenomenal to see their dreams come true. It's a combination of psychological, emotional, philosophical, and spiritual and ancient teachings from many masters. So it's not like you can just pick up one of my books and get the whole mindset story. You know, I got up to so many pages and it's like, wow, I got to stop. Then Love was 400 pages. Like, I got to stop, but there's so much more. And then I built the workbooks for my clients, and they're not for sale. They're 150 pages, and that is the gold, everybody says, that they really learn from. It's a philosophy that helped me to overcome a brutally toxic marriage when I was very young, as I told you, from age 26 to owning 2 homes for me and my girls, and went for the modeling school. And then I was able to open the Model and Talent Company with my first month's rent and just the dream and a lot of prayers. Could not get loans, just mindset got me where I wanted. And my daughters also really excelled in life, love, and business with this mindset, as well as my talent in Erie and New York. And what was cool is I was teaching my students the mindset too. So kids that were like getting D's and F's and acting up and being bullies, I taught them the mindset, and I started really liking who they were. Kids even as young as 1st and 2nd grade. So not only did it work with my daughters, but so many other people in school. So it's just fabulous. I mean, it's a way of conscious being. It's a conscious way of being and thinking, feeling, and reacting and behaving 24/7. Spiritual is a way of being and thinking, reacting, behaving. It is encompassed in your entire life, and it makes you feel very abundant about everything in your life. And it works for everyone, whether you're younger or older, a man or a woman, if you're straight or LGBTQ clients, it works for everyone. And once you learn it, you're going to love your life and you will live with purpose. It is the key to dating and having the choice in who you want as your partner, and you release the others with love. You don't hold on to the past. You don't beat yourself up about why didn't that work. Spiritually, we don't always understand when things happen to us, but you have to say, it happened, it's meant to be, I release you in love, goodbye, good luck, and God bless. And you open your heart and your mind to receiving new love. And that's when new love enters your life. Life will have challenges, but you look at them and respond totally differently. We in our clan are proactive. We're not reactive. We have a whole way of thinking. We call it living in the light. We process everything that comes towards us. Is this for the good of all? We're always questioning that. We don't act with impulse. We slow our thoughts down. Part of that is daily meditation to help us really get into our intuitive behavior. We listen to what our body is telling us for the directions that we choose to go. It gives you the guts to go for things in life, love, or business instead of being scared and not making a move. You're living your life to the max and loving every bit of it, because change may be scary for some, but it's cool for us. It's like an adventure. It's something new and exciting. So when you look back on life, you say, wow, I accomplished a lot. This was great, right? And that's how we feel. You have more balance in life and little to no anxiety, no depression, stress, boredom, loneliness, and you really feel pure joy for life. One thing that's really cool about this, you will use it forever. Once my clients get this system and the way of being and thinking, they never change because they love it and they know that it works. Now, my research years ago showed that 9 out of 10 people suffer in life and love. This is due to past childhood trauma, dating and relationship trauma, which only really shows up in life or love. And it usually appears either in business or in your love relationships primarily, because the first love relationships we had was with our parents. So if we didn't have good models, if they did not have a good relationship or their relationship with us was toxic, then we don't have a model for what is emotionally healthy. We haven't learned it. This system teaches you what is healthy, what is not healthy. We look at all your behavior patterns in module 1, which is called Awake to Awareness, and analyze where do you feel that life is not happy for you. And we make the correlations between your childhood trauma and what is showing up now. So people clearly understand, whoa, I'm feeling jealous because of this, or I'm holding on to that old relationship because I had abandonment as a kid. Or I need this guy's attraction, even though he's toxic. I need all his attention because I didn't get attention from my dad. There's so many patterns. I put together 24 different combinations. I'm sure there's more. There is more than 10 childhood traumas, but I talk about the top 10. And this escalates for people who are considered famous. So whether they're singers, actors, dancers, famous business people, especially for women, because women have other things that they're trying to overcome, like equality and equal pay and the stereotypical roles. So women tend to feel very hard with it. And what it is, it's a disassociated psyche that leads to unconscious, what we call splitting, losing touch with the emotions related to the traumatic event when you were a child until it reemerges as an adult under stress or in love relationships, when the unconscious attracts and does normalized patterns. If you grew up with a lot of fighting, for example, between your mom and dad, that's how they handled problems, and you heard this yelling, that became normalized. So with your partner, you might yell when there's an issue. Well, yelling is never appropriate. You have to learn a firm but calm way of speaking about your feelings and your needs. So again, not all childhood trauma people think, oh, I wasn't beat. Maybe I got yelled at once or twice, but were you bullied in school? Did you grow up with a lot of lack? Did you have a sibling that was a superstar and you always felt a little bit less? Again, the childhood traumas are described a lot in my podcast and on my YouTube channel, so make sure you check them out. It's a very important topic to understand. With our coaching, we're rewiring your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions, and triggers from the past. It's what I call personal mind control. Studies show that only 4 to 6% of people live consciously. That's not a lot. And it's not as easy as you think. Oh, okay, I'll just think positive thoughts. No, it's not that simple. It takes practice, guys. It involves a combination of improving emotional, physical health, and mental well-being using the science of the brain. And it's also spiritually based. All the research goes into spirituality as well. Okay. It's not just Rihanna's idea. Spirituality is a very important part, some faith-based belief, and it's not religion, totally different. This is all important for the healing of any past childhood trauma or pain in life, love, or other significant relationships. It involves a deeper, more profound wisdom and an intuition that only a few obtain in life. And we do the practice consistently and constantly. How does it work exactly? I'm going to go into some ways, but again, my clients are with me 4 to 6 months, and that's how long it takes to rewire and retrain the brain. There's something called neuroplasticity of the brain. We can retrain our brain from original or old traumas and the way that it thinks, feels, responds, and how it sends signals to the body in emotionally reactive situations, which we call triggers. Those with past trauma tend to have ongoing anxiety and higher levels of cortisol spikes, blood pressure, and these emotional triggers. Something called the law of attraction. I brought that up because it might be a term that you've heard about, but there's psychological and philosophical studies that are based in science and quantum physics. And they have been beautifully exampled in the movie The Secret. If you have not seen it yet, it came out in like 2008. And I remember the date because my Live Beyond Your Dreams book came out about 8 months prior. And I'm like, I love this movie. It's totally talking about the mindset work that I wrote in my Live book. It's a really cool movie. You want to see it. I think you can find it on Netflix or YouTube. Wise leaders and scientists throughout time have known and used this mindset for success, which they call the secret. I always said nothing changes if you change nothing. Like people will say, I want to change my life. I want a better job. I want love. Well, if you've been doing the same things over and over again, it's not working for you. So people think if they read the next new book on relationships and they read tons of books, but still nothing changes. Why? You have not handled the core psychological issues. And once you learn the mindset, it takes repeated practice over time. Like I said, 4 to 6 months initially, using various and many techniques to retrain the brain to release this trauma so it responds in a whole new way. Learning is lifelong. But once you get it, once you understand it, which takes about, well, Natalie's like full force in it. Casey's seeing some really good changes. John's with us. He's feeling body changes and intuition. He got an amazing job offer. And by the way, John, I hope I can brag, but he's up for an Emmy for sound production and design. I'm so proud of him. And once you get this, you'll never go back. It starts coming together slowly, and then it just starts working, and then things in your life start coming to be. This is part of A Course of Miracles when you choose love over fear and the positive over the negative mindset. And we have all kinds of techniques that we use. But once you get it, you won't feel comfortable around people that are always negative. With a positive way you feel, you're not going to settle for less in any life area. You're going to live large. You're saying yes to yourself more. You have a purpose-filled life, and you have consistent gratitude for the gifts that you're giving. And the gifts are coming in many different ways. You're able to say yes to yourself. So many people hold back in their dreams. They're afraid. Fear comes from childhood traumas or feeling not worthy enough to invest in yourself or say yes to things that you really want. And then sometimes people say yes, and then they feel guilty every step of the way. This is guilt-free, man. I'm here to live this life. I was given God-given gifts. I am here to feel and be amazing. You'll have self-love, so you never put yourself last again. But this is not selfishness, and it's not arrogance. It's the opposite. It's a heart-filled kindness for yourself and for others, what I call reparenting of the self. It is based in brain science. I don't go into a lot of science with my clients because I'm more concerned about them and what they're dealing with their feelings, and I give the techniques that they need. Now, these 3 sheets that you get tonight at the end of class on gratitude, optimism, and mindfulness, we'll go deeper into this, but I just pulled a little bit about the brain science because I want you to know why this works in the brain. It's linked to research showing it increases several neurotransmitter systems in the brain. We're talking about gratitude, including serotonin, which is strongly connected to our moods, with low levels linked to depression. If your serotonin is low, this is when depression comes in. And dopamine, the feel-good chemical, our ability to anticipate rewards and pleasures is raised with practicing gratitude on a regular basis. With optimism or a positive mindset, the left prefrontal cortex shows more activity, more firing in an area of the brain closely related to positive emotional states when one practices optimism. There's also a decreased sensitivity in the amygdala, the part that fires up the fight or flight anxiety. That's when I say the brain goes da-da-da-da when you're under anxiety. So it calms that down, and that's during stress. Plus, there's greater activation in the orbitofrontal cortex, which helps us better regulate our emotions and decrease anxiety. So when you think, oh yeah, positive mindset, it works on the brain, guys, okay? Mindfulness is increased activation in the prefrontal cortex as well, which is connected to positive emotional states of being, plus decreased activation in the amygdala, which decreases stress. Memory, learning, and emotion regulation are linked to mindfulness practice while slowing down cortical thinning, which is a process of losing brain cells with age. So mindfulness is really important, especially as we age. And stress cuts your memory down. And I found this with the youngest students I was working with in the schools. If they were stressed out coming in from a toxic home, their cortisol was up and their memory was down. So they were all diagnosed ADHD. That's not always the case. What was happening was they were so stressed out, where's my mom? A lot of times they were doing drugs in Atlantic City. They didn't come home. They're up getting their own breakfast and getting their way to school. I mean, like I said, it's a very tough area that I worked in. So these kids were floundering in school. But I did meditation with these kids. I'm talking 2003 and 4 and 5, when nobody thought of meditation in the schools. Like I was a woo-woo counselor, but everyone loved Miss Riana. And I had Miss Riana's relaxation room. It was never disciplined when they came in. I do a lot of parenting education as well, by the way. But they totally changed by being mindful and learning these techniques also. And their grades went up and they had new friends and they were happier and they loved to succeed. Totally different than when I met them. So this can work on the youngest of people. And I love getting parents when I coach them, because then they start teaching their kids this as well. Speaking of teaching kids, how have other used it? I mean, my daughter's Alexi. At 16, she wanted to be a pop singer. This is when Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera were singing, and her father's there, you won't be a singer, that's an effing joke. So he had no belief in her and put her down. And I said, hun, if that's what you want to do, let's make this happen. She sings on 3 multi-platinum CDs. Then she didn't want to do music, although her music took her around the world as a singer. And she ends up in Africa. And she looked down at the kids on the tour bus and says, I'll be back to help you. And she said, Mom, how do I do this? I'm 19 years old. That's when the tour went on. She goes, I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I'm like, hun, you have a heart of gold and you're smart. You're going to figure this out. Today, they have 21 water wells her and her best friend had put in Tanzania, Africa, and they started that project at 20. I didn't micromanage her. That was hard for mom to let a kid go halfway around the world. But I had to show her I believed in her dream and that she could handle it. So this is what the mindset does. She grew up with this. She believed if I want to do it, she goes, now I'll be a TV host. She's on 2 shows for HGTV. She did the NFL Pro Show. She was on all kinds of MTV videos. Now today she's a millionaire coach, coaching around the world, and also the mother of my twin grandchildren, Zai and Zahara, and little Kingston. But she was a couple years ago in Inc. and Forbes magazine as one of the top 11 entrepreneurs changing the world. When you teach your kids this mindset, I didn't mean to have my kids as science experiments, I swear, but they just gravitate toward it and they love the feeling of success. It's fun. It's not work. It's not a chore. And Stefana, my daughter in Orlando, became a supervisor at JetBlue Airlines only at 24 years old. And in her young 20s, she was working for Midnight Oil at 17 restaurants doing inventory, owned by Cindy Crawford's husband. And that was in New York. She only had 2 years of college. Alexi had 0 years of college. I taught them mindset skills. I taught them life skills. So if you can do that, they can be successful in anything. Despite the fact that their father was difficult, I left that marriage when they were only 4 and 5. I became mother, father. Despite all that and our struggles, they succeeded. And that's what this does. Some coaching examples I heard last week. Morgan, New York Times best-selling author. I saw her in my New Jersey office. We're celebrating her. Olya was a Russian immigrant, came here with $200 in her pocket. She's now living a millionaire lifestyle and married to a wonderful man. The beautiful home on the ocean, and her son is very happy with her mom. They have a little girl now that they had together. Amy, I just heard last week on her update. She's now a store manager at 18 years old. When I met her, she was a fast food hostess at Chili's and dating a dishwasher who was 30. And both her mom and I were very worried that she could get herself into trouble, and she just did not know her life purpose. She was suffering with a lot of childhood traumas that was not healed. So her mom put her with me. She's now in architectural school and just got store manager at a top design store. So I'm like, yes. So happy with her using her mindset work. And there's so many other happy marriages. I'm just thrilled with how well my clients do through the years, and they keep in touch with me. We are a big family. Models and talents, my dancers went on from Erie to be in the Rockettes, movies, TV shows. Roy, who came to me, sounded exactly like Lionel Richie when he sang, but when he spoke, he stuttered. I got him over the stutter, and he was able to meet and record with Lionel, which was like so amazing. That was his dream. The Erie talent that I took to New York and LA all got 100% top agency offers when they competed. And people say these small town people, they're going to win out in LA and New York. Everyone got top market offers from around the world. I taught them the mindset, and they said, Riana, you got to write this in a book. I said, I will one day. And that became Live. It gives you total confidence and belief in yourself to get what you want. And the desires and the dreams are up to you. Some people want love. Some people want something else. And I was told in Erie, you're going to fail. Nobody wants modeling school in Erie, PA. This is a commercial town. This is an industrial town. Well, within 6 months of appearing before the Board of Education and only having my first month's rent, I won the International Model and Talent School of the Year. And I'm on the success panel with Lisa Sachovich. She's a mega business coach. And I remember going to her convention. I was out in the crowd. She has about 2,000 people that attend. And I was watching the 5 people on that success panel. And I looked, I said, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to be on that success panel the next time I come back to San Diego. And there I am on the success panel. And I told that story. I sat out in that audience and I said, I am going to be here. That's when I was getting 3 to 5 interviews a week. And it was really growing my business in coaching internationally. That's one of the trophies I got for Model and Talent School of the Year. Let's go and how this works in business. I've given you some examples, but I'm going to go deeper here. You go from fear to confidence and empowerment. So some techniques I use with my clients is this daily goal setting system. I know Natalie has told me, oh my God, I went from scrambling. I have thousands of things to do with a high anxiety to very calm focus and getting so much done each day. She was very meticulous at getting her things done. So that was great. We do something called capping and correcting. Capping means here's a negative thought, right? Which comes from the dark side of life, our fears, our doubts, feeling good enough, not feeling worthy enough, not feeling confident. That's from the dark side of thinking, being, feeling. And then the light side is joy and bliss and empowerment and confidence. It's being in the zone when you're doing the work that you love, right? It lights you up. It puts you on fire. The first thing our clients need to do is recognize the negative thoughts, feelings that come up, and then they have to cap and correct it. So it's the negative with a positive over it. You think it'll be easy to think about what you're thinking about, but it's not. And then when the correlations come up, it's my job to take them back to say, okay, well, this is coming up for you because of this trauma that you went through, or because of that trauma. In Module 1, they do about 20 assessments that we dive deeper. And as we go through them, we correlate what's going on in their life today with what's coming up with how they're feeling. It's all interrelated, the psychology, the spirituality, the philosophy, the lessons, the correcting and capping, living spiritually, living in the light. We have what we call what can I do attitude. So you're no longer feeling like the victim. I mean, we're going to be stressed in life. We're going to be challenged. So I always think, okay, what can I do right now? Well, I can do this and this. If this isn't done, I can do that and that. If my body is feeling exhausted, it's like, okay, I need to take a break. I'm going to take a siesta, and then I'm going to come back out, and I'm going to come with a clearer mindset. I mean, there's a lot that we do, but we never get into that victim role. It's like, what can we do next? That's really important because we're going to be challenged. That's what the Earth School is. In Buddhism, it's called the Earth School. We're here to face our challenges, become more evolved and more aware, and correct them to grow and change and become better and more evolved people. Evolved means being your highest and your best self. We do daily meditation, very important, every day. Again, meditation is proven in science to lessen cortisol, your fight or flight response, lessens anxiety, depression, blood pressure, and increases dopamine and serotonin levels of the brain. Although some people would say, well, you're just sitting there and breathing. Like, what's that? No, we don't do it to music either. It's an internal way of thinking. There's definitely 4 steps that our people do along with the breathing, but part law of attraction, part psychology, part gratitude. It's something I call divine spiritual meditation. We also look at the body as your system. I go into certain vitamins that my clients need if they're feeling exhaustion or they're feeling depression. None of my clients are on psychotropic medications. They don't need them. When the body is reacting in certain ways, it means it's depleted, and usually due to stress. Stress really wears down the body and the immune system, so we have to beef it up with vitamins. Vitamins and diet is always discussed because we want to bring you the best energy to accomplish your goals and your dreams. And we have to avoid toxins in the brain and the body. So when you're choosing to have a drink, you're also choosing to kill brain cells. That is the choice. And we have to say, do I want to do this at this time? The positive traits of those successful in business and have the mindset in place, they earn a great income. Why? Because the passion for their work comes through. People feel it, right? They feel the energy. They feel the aura. That just attracts more clients to want to work with you. They become more intelligent because the focus is there. They're not scrambling. They're not in anxiety. They're focused. So they're making smarter choices. They're becoming more responsible, more organized. They're feeling in control, which increases the self-confidence, right? The people support their family very well, and family is very important to them. And if they're married, whether it's a man or a woman, they want to do as a partnership, and the children are well provided for. Things get done calmly when under pressure. Again, what can I do? A step at a time. There's life, career, and relationship balance. We're always looking at our balanced triangles. And if we're feeling anxious, it's like, okay, my body's feeling anxious. What is my body telling me? Like I used John's example today that, he got a fabulous job offer in the 6 figures. And he said, do I take it? Do I not take it? And I said, let's process that today. And it was his session today. And he said, well, I wasn't sleeping and I was feeling anxiety. I said, aha, that's the signal now, because you're becoming more intuitive and more aware that that's not your move that you're really passionate about. So we dissected it more, right? So our body becomes our messenger and our friend, because no longer is anxiety there 24/7. When it comes up, it's a message to listen to. We deal with it. We come up with our plan B or plan C. We put them into place. We've got our plan. We're calm. We move forward. It's just boom, boom, boom. And it becomes automatic once you get it. Once you get the system. It takes time for spiritual mindset study, no doubt. But when you learn it from me as your coach, I give it to you in condensed ways. The worksheets are very well planned that we discuss through the worksheets, and then I teach you from the answers that you give me. So it's back and forth. Family is very important priority for people who are successful in business. They do live a spiritual life. They're always studying the mindset. They usually have a great reputation in public or in their society. They're altruistic. They like to give back. They're always creating something where they can be a part of giving to the world at large. That becomes important too. Despite they're wealthy, which equals success in our society, many spiritually successful people are very down to earth, love making a difference, and are very passionate about who they are and the work that they do. Now let's talk about successful without mindset. This is when work become obsession or workaholism. And where does that come from? That comes from childhood trauma, trying to prove yourself, or a need for attention, to feel successful, to get compliments, to attract or be admired, to feel important or desired. And again, it's from their childhood wounds. Where does this come from? Let's go deeper. Let's take childhood trauma as this example. You might not have gotten compliments as a child. So you always were trying to be perfect for difficult parents to show them, see, I can do this, or see how good I am. It comes from that obsession of perfectionism. You're bullied at school. You don't feel good enough because kids are picking on you. So you want to show them, see how I succeeded. The sibling was the golden child. You had to work hard to get noticed or get praise from your parents because your sibling could have been the more handsome or pretty one, the smarter one, or the star athlete of the family. You became successful as a child to help the family. So work was what gave you value in your family. So you became addicted to it. You were driven to leave poverty behind. That's not a bad thing. You know, someone like Oprah, who grew up very poor in Chicago, she said her drive came from never wanting to be poor again. And she's a very altruistic person, always giving back. And she's very spiritually based. And she has the mindset for success. So although she's driven, she's also very kind-hearted. Right? You were doubted about your abilities or your intelligence, leading to prove your doubters wrong. Now, let's give an example of who grew up with childhood trauma that is not using the mindset for success. And you see obsession and things like blurting out and toxic behavior and wanting to be liked and admired. And if you haven't guessed it yet, it's one of our top political officials. That is a prime example of childhood trauma with success that has gone terribly wrong. And I said, oh my God, I want to be his mindset coach. It's obviously lacking, and this is a prime example we all can see. Fear holds one back from career success. So without the mindset for success, you could have fears and lack mentality. If you grew up not investing in yourself, it wasn't good, you didn't have a lot of money, you might be afraid to spend the money on yourself. So if you don't invest in yourself and get the education or the coaching you need in your desired area of wanting to grow, your career never takes off. And then you go into victim mentality. Oh, I can't do it, or I don't know what's wrong with this. You've got to get coaching. You've got to learn from the experts. Think back, I think I've had 12 coaches while growing to global status, and I loved every one of them. You know, maybe there's one that I just didn't like their method of coaching, but I'm still there in every class, very dedicated to the process of learning. Or you might have imposter syndrome. It's like you're going half-heartedly towards something, a goal, but you're thinking, well, who would work with me? Or who am I to deserve this fame as an actor or a model or a business guru or this position or this income or this success? That's a huge problem that will hold you back, hold that energy and that aura and the passion for your work back. So the confidence that you need is very important, and that comes through mindset. Lack of confidence keeps you stuck from moving forward, or you move forward very slow, or you procrastinate, or you don't go full throttle. You just don't move forward. You believe other people's opinions of why the idea can't work. If I would have listened to that about my model and talent school in a blue collar town, nobody will come. Well, I might have started my first class with 4 people. Within 6 months, I had 24 people, which is the maximum I could take with a waiting list. Boom. All you need to believe is believe it yourself. Doesn't mean anybody else will. There's going to be a lot of doubters all the time in your life. Unfortunately, it can be your friends, your family, your kids. You need to listen. 2 people are with you, yourself and your higher power. If you got that, you've got everything. Hopefully you have one best friend, a parent, a sibling, a daughter that believes in you too. It makes it a little bit easier. But sometimes we are our own lone ranger, and we are focused and doing what we have to do. And that works too. Your fear of failure keeps you paralyzed sometimes. So you stay stuck in limbo between the dreams that will make you happy and feeling passionate about life, or just saying, no, I'll just do it this way. And you're settling and you're playing it safe, and then you don't feel happy about your life. The unhealed childhood trauma can lead to workaholism, which affects us in life and love. Let's combine these two now, life, business, and love a little bit. You don't have quality dates and romance with your partner because of workaholism, you're working too much. You have ongoing stress, so your cortisol is up. That causes low energy and low sexual desire. Workaholic partner that you're dating or married to, and the sex, there's nothing there because of burnout and exhaustion, your relationship's going to fall apart. Then there's medical and health issues due to ongoing stress. Ongoing stresses and high cortisol levels is the number one thing that leads to disease. And the Kaiser Permanente group did a fabulous study on unhealed childhood trauma and how it brings on early disease and illnesses. If you haven't read anything about it, you should. I loved when that came out because so much of it correlated and confirmed to what I was working on, which was life and love. And life, I'm talking anxiety, depression, psychological things that show up in life, career happiness, and love. And they didn't hit on that. They only hit on health. Between the two studies, it's a really great study on childhood trauma. Resentment for doing it all. You get angry, you're miserable, you're doing the job to support the family, the big house, the big boys that you want, but you're resentful of it. You lack fun, relaxation, or quality time for yourself or your partner. You lack that self-time or exercise or yoga or meditation time. And when there is time off, you're running errands for the household and you really then have no time off. There's time that you have to devote to kids or maybe elderly parents, also with work. There's school schedules for kids, sports, and other demands. Increased expenses demand more income, which is then making you work more hours. Social media demands, emails equal more work that was supposed to make our lives easier. It's increasing the stress in our workplace today. So balance in life is part of the mindset system. We set our goals, but we have to respect when things are like, I need a break from this. Now, I do usually 2 great vacations a year, and I was scheduled to go to China and Japan in June, and I sorely missed my vacation. So instead, I did a project, which is Trifecta World. But I said my goal on podcast when I went in with my coach, John Lee Dumas, is 100 podcast shows without missing a week. And I've done it. So I'm celebrating that by taking some well-needed time off. And then I'm coming back and doing more podcasts, but shorter snippet versions of let's talk about depression or let's talk about anxiety. And they'll be about 15 minutes, 20 minutes long instead of 30 to an hour, which takes up like a day and a half of a week for me. I'm just going to ease back on that a little bit, but still give you value. Let's talk about part 3 in life with unhealed childhood trauma. And without the mindset, what happens? Well, narcissism happens. Everybody, it's a big buzzword. Oh, I'm dating a narcissist. Well, where's that come from? It comes from unhealed childhood trauma and self-absorption. Hi, singles. Are you really ready to have a love relationship? If you're not sure, it's time for you to take the love test. Couples, you're in an exclusive relationship. Do you or your partners have any of the red flags you should be concerned about? Do you think you or they have childhood trauma? Go to rianamilne.com and do the free love test. There are tests there for both singles and couples. If you have any concerns after taking those tests and reviewing the answers, then sign up for a Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session and Assessment. This is a 1-hour private session with me where I go over your love tests and get to the bottom of where you're stuck and what the next best move would be to get you on your way to having that life that you desire and the love that you deserve. It's time to learn how to move forward to reach all your goals and dreams. Go to rianamilne.com, my website, and sign up for the free love test, or simply just directly go to the Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session tab. And I look forward to meeting with you to see how I can help you best. So their job or themselves are their primary focus. Why this insistent need to have things or be noticed or be recognized? We know the politician I'm talking about is a narcissist because his trauma is not healed. They're controlling of their partner and they often resent the success of their partner. They're jealous of it. So they might sabotage you in that or hold you back or make you late for a meeting. They can be difficult and demanding people to their spouse and their kids. They act spoiled, almost like children, entitled. They expect perfection in their mate, and that's very hard. Where perfection is in that partner constantly is because they grew up needing to be perfect themselves and needing to handle a difficult parent. They can be very impulsive and prone to various addictions. They often have serial sexual affairs without remorse. Sexual affairs come from a need to be noticed and admired and told that they're beautiful or hot or sexy. So they go into that. A lot of people use sex to get love. Ladies, if you're ever out on a date and a guy says, I need you to know that I have a high sex drive, that's a red flag and you don't do date 2. Okay? We don't want to hear that. And anyone that has to say that is a problem. That over-sex thing is part of unhealed childhood trauma. Any addiction is. Ruthless and emotionless to employees. They're tyrant bosses. They spend little time with their partner, yet they're demanding of sex, because if they don't get sex, they feel you don't love them. This type quickly falls in love. They're that passionate, romantic partner in the beginning. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up if they don't understand what childhood trauma is, if they don't know the signs to look for. That fast come on partner. At second date, they say they love you. Third date, they ask you to marry. It's not a compliment. It's a red flag. Okay, so my clients are very well versed in what to look for, and what the red flag warnings are is really important. They do always lust or crave romance, which is the dream state. Yes, that's nice to have with your partner, but then there's reality. You're looking for a partner that's your best friend, your buddy you can talk to about anything. You travel well together. You can grow old together. You're going to help each other in medical emergencies. They got to be grounded, spiritual, right? I mean, there's a lot of qualities that we list for our clients. Fast marriages to a sexy partner, fast deterioration happens after that, and then they divorce, and they always want to control the process. They're usually horrendous in the divorce process. So many successful people are rock stars when it comes to business, but without the mindset, their lives are often a mess. And that's what comes out. Other symptoms in life resulting from past childhood events could be depression and ongoing anxiety, parenting problems, you have problems with your kids, fears and panic attack when there's change or transitions, faulty coping and behavioral patterns. A lot of that is coming up right now, number 1, 3, and 4 with COVID. Low self-esteem because that was never healed from you, feeling not good enough or not worthy enough, not confident when you're out dating. You could be aggressive or quick to anger or moody. Again, anger comes from modeling as a child. You saw that in your parents that raised you. It is never appropriate to yell at your partner, only if they're in harm's way, where you have to say, hey, watch out. Then you can yell. Other than that, and it's the same for parenting. Doing a tape with Alexi on parenting, I remember she said in that, Mom, I don't remember you yelling at us once, not one time. And we weren't perfect. We did bad things, but you sat down and it's like, okay, let's talk about this. What do you think you did that? And what did you learn? And what 2 to 3 solutions can you come up with to help fix the problem? And they were in elementary school and they were learning success. They were learning life skills. So when they have a problem as an adult, they've been solving their problems their entire life. They come to talk to me about it. We brainstorm it, but I always ask them first versus telling them, you're going to go to the teacher and apologize. You're going to write a note to that kid that you picked on. No, they come up with that idea. In parenting, you're teaching mindset too. And if you don't have the mindset for success, you can become very codependent on your partner and love addicted when there's a breakup. Love addiction comes from abandonment as a child. There's also the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality type. That comes from severe childhood trauma. And I'm talking severe, which the trauma could be from the range of 7 through 10. The sociopath and psychopath are 9s and 10s. That means 9 and 10 traumas of the 10. And then the levels are 1 through 10 of severity, and their levels of severity are usually 9s and 10s. The psychopath is someone that kills. They're always narcissistic and they're always sociopathic. A psychopath kills. The sociopath is someone that uses someone for pleasure or profit without remorse. They go after very kind, loving, understanding people, spiritual people. And the sociopath is someone that uses someone for pleasure or profit with no remorse. And they move on and don't think twice. And you'll never get an apology either. When I was 24 years old, I've never heard an apology. So you just don't wait for it. The Dr. Jekyll can come off in society as very smart, successful, romantic, fun, passionate, charming, and loving. And then Mr. Hyde is that hidden personality type, the sociopath. Uses people without remorse. They're selfish, impulsive, abusive. They lie, they're angry, they're aggressive, irresponsible. They have grandiose self-worth. They're always bragging on themselves. They're manipulative, lacks empathy. They're promiscuous sexually. They don't usually have good boundaries around that. Poor behavior control, and prone to boredom and addictions. We call it splitting of the personality, and that can be infuriating to their partner because they're a tyrant at home and then they're out in public and everyone loves them. That's what we call Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Why does this happen to successful people? You know, that personality emerges. They come off charming to the face and to business world. They're confident, but they could be awkward or shy or uncomfortable in personal love relationships because they don't really know how to love authentically. To them, love equals sex, and that was it. Or romance. That's the two things they connect with. That comes from a lack of self-esteem, ongoing anxiety, which creates poor results in love. So they find someone with competent social skills. And when there's stress at work, the stress usually triples at home. Overworking and escapism sets in. This is when they can turn to drinking, drugs, sexual affairs. If you're not perfect and having sex every day, they seek it elsewhere. And they love that high-risk, ego-involved, pleasure-seeking type of behavior. There's a lot of that in our world. When I was doing my research for the Love book in 2011, it was 1 in 25 people are sociopathic. The numbers today are 6 to 7. So if you don't know what you're doing in dating, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Which leads us to part 4. Without the mindset in love, what can happen? Well, you could feel all the good ones are taken. I hear that one a lot. I can't find anyone, all the good ones are taken. You bring past fear of a toxic relationship with you into your dates. It's the emotional baggage you have not let go of. So you're afraid because this one hurts you, you're going to get hurt again. You feel no one would want you either at this age or your weight or how you are. There's something negative in your soul, your psyche that you're feeling. So you just settle with someone that says they like you. You haven't dated for a while, so you're afraid of it. Maybe you've come out of a long-term marriage, and if that marriage was toxic, you might be afraid of getting out there in the dating world because you don't know what that's like. You're afraid to date online due to sociopaths and narcissists. But I'll tell you what, they're your neighbors, and you're going to meet them out anywhere else. So our people learn that dating online is one of the ways to date. It's not the only way. We are a little bit restricted in COVID world. You have to be even smarter when it comes to online dating, and you would learn all those skills. One bad date might make you quit and say, I'm not doing this. All these guys are disgusting. These ladies are demanding. I'm not doing it. So you stop trying, you give up. You'd rather stay at home where it's safe, feeling, you know what, if it's meant to be for me to have love, it's just going to happen. Well, I always believe God helps those who help themselves. So you have to be empowered and educated, know what you're doing, and then get out there and enjoy it. Our people enjoy dating. It's quite fun. If the person's not right for you, just release them in love. And spiritually, when you have that, it's not upsetting you. If someone ghosts you spiritually, you just accept that they're not the one. Thank you, God, for showing me that their personality is lacking early on. Perfect. Next. That's the way we look at it. You date with confidence, meeting each new person as if they could be a new friend. I've had friends over the years that I've dated, a couple of dates. Maybe I just wasn't attracted or it wasn't good timing for me. And I say, look, I think we can be good friends. I just don't see this as a relationship. And we are. It's happened and it's great. Date with confidence. You don't get manipulated into things you don't want to do. You're able to say, no, I'm not comfortable with that. You're able to speak up. You don't manipulate. You don't use sex or cooking or other tools to win someone. You understand relationships take time and effort. So you choose when to date or not, depending on your other life goals. You don't feel unworthy if you don't have a partner. You're empowered by your choices. In our societies, especially in America, women are saying, oh, well, why don't you have a partner? Well, our people say, well, I'm choosing right now to not date because I'm growing a business, or I'm really having a lot of fun doing this right now. So we choose either we want the partner or not. We don't feel less than because we don't have one or we're not married. But then we might say, you know what? Now's the time. I worked really hard for 6 months or a year, put dating on the back burner. I'm going to start dating again. And you're choosing when to do that. And on top of it, you are choosing who you want to be with. You're going to attract many suitors when you have the mindset for success. You're going to decide based on the knowledge that you have and having the psychological edge in dating, who is a great partner, who is not, and why, who is best just being a friend, or who you're going to move forward with. You're going to know exactly why. We can select who we want to marry, but if we're not in that place, we don't want that, we can say, you know, I don't see us moving forward in that kind of committed relationship. I love you as my friend. Let's just stay friends. You have that power to decide yes or no. A client example, I love Erin's story. She had a very difficult father who was emotionally and verbally abusive and attracted the same man as her dad, same type. She wanted marriage and family in the worst way. And she was about 29, 30 when she came to me. And she existed in a 7-year abusive, angry, and toxic relationship. And I said, I really don't like how he's treating you and what he's doing. Are you sure you want to marry this guy? She goes, well, I'm getting older. Oh, I don't really want to go out and date. She had the fear of dating. And she goes, he's talking about marriage, so maybe we'll get engaged. This is 7 years. I was very afraid and stuck. After her coaching, she says, coaching with Riana led me to gain my confidence back, getting to a point of happiness and self-worth again. I was lucky to escape the biggest mistake of my life, that of a marriage to the wrong man who was very toxic. I'm now in the most fantastic, healthiest relationship of my life and have a beautiful baby boy. I'm forever thankful. Their little boy is 5. They travel around the world. Her husband is one of the top attorneys that appears on NBC and CNN News all the time. I'm sitting there watching CNN and there's Aaron's husband. So she has a fairy tale life. And this has happened to many of my clients when you know what you're looking for. I'm so thrilled for her, and she deserves it. The dating patterns of unconscious people. Again, the first 4 to 6 months were very incredible. These are the ones that come on strong, passionate, romantic, fun, loving. But then from 6 to 9 months, or right after the engagement or a marriage, things drastically change. You're going to see fast reactive anger and dramatic responses, emotional numbing or splitting, personality splits, defensiveness and blaming the partner for things. You're always at fault. Impulsive decisions that not hurt only them, but you and the relationship. And then the jealousy and control of these people become overwhelming. There's all kinds of toxic things that can come up. So the goal is to recognize it early on before you become too involved or intimately involved, by knowing the key questions to ask, looking for the childhood traumas, talking to them about it, not interrogating. There's a way to do it, and my clients know exactly what to do. Okay, what happens to a romantic marriage based on chemistry? Well, business people take risks to succeed, and they usually do that in the same in love. They make a purely irrational emotional decision based on lust due to chemistry and hormones. So if you're online and you see a guy say, must have chemistry, or if we meet and there's chemistry, then we'll move forward. It's not all about chemistry, okay? That is just about sex. So if you're seeing that in a profile, they're not your people. Chemistry is the rush of adrenaline, serotonin, and dopamine, which makes us think we'll be in love with our partner forever. The romanticism causes a rush of oxytocin and vasopressin, which leads to more irrational actions. Both of these phases last about 2 years. Why? It's in our biology and in our brains, and God made us that way to procreate the human race, right? So it's about 2 years, which is what the time is needed to get pregnant and raise a child to be somewhat sustainable with the mother. If you have a relationship totally based on chemistry, this is why they fizzle out quickly. Those of childhood trauma attract others of childhood trauma, leading to massive emotional triggers and toxic relationships. You must heal first from your past trauma before dating. That's why in my program, it's half life coaching, half love coaching. We have to get the aura right, the energy right, the positive mindset going, the capping, the correcting, the self-parenting, the gratitude, the optimism, the mindset, the spiritual belief system. All of this is done in part 1, and then we move on to getting them out there and dating, because that's when they're going to attract the right partner. They'll have the education of saying no politely to the wrong ones, and they will be attracting the same type of confident individual that they are, because they want someone who is also then emotionally healthy. And then they have the necessary skills also when issues arrive, because issues will. It's just a part of life. But without mindfulness, many relationships have toxic abuse, right? It begins with frustration. Somebody's upset about something. There's an issue. Those with no mindfulness get angry quickly. And then they do dysfunctional behaviors, like either passive aggressive, they shut down, or they yell and scream, or they go and drink, just something dysfunctional. And then that ruins the trust of the relationship, and the partners like losing their passion for them because they feel mistreated and disrespected. Then the healthy partner is feeling hopeless about the future, and you're walking on eggshells with this person that's toxic. That leads to ongoing anxiety and stress and the fighting. There's this period of calm. After the fighting, there's some making up, but there's always that anxiety of when is he going to lose it again, or when is she going to act up? So we need to make the unconscious conscious. You can't change what you don't understand. Trauma is stored in both the brain and the body. And if you're with a partner, we must examine both of your childhood histories. I do couples who are married or exclusive, gay or straight couples, and we have to start putting the puzzle pieces together. Knowledge is power, and it starts the transformation and the healing process. I work with two people individually, getting to the bottom of their childhood wounds. How is it showing up? What are the toxic behaviors as adults? Then I have to teach them new communication skills, being aware of each other's traumas and being more empathetic and understanding them. I'll tell you what, my couples are doing phenomenal when they learn this system. What can be done to fix all of this? First, we have to stop the emotional triggers from past childhood or dating and love trauma, and learn spiritual forgiveness and understanding of the family history and that normalizing that happened to you as a kid. You can't take the anger forward with you forever. You're going to remain stuck if you don't clean this up. Second, you learn the Mindset for Success system and a way of being, thinking, acting, and feeling, which increases self-esteem, confidence, and gives you joy in life. Step 3, you do the goal-setting system to create the life you desire, including working towards your career dreams. And 4, you improve your dating and relationship skills, learn the psychological edge in dating, greatly increasing your attraction factor and what it takes to sustain a relationship. This is a cool example. Johnny was a very successful man, but he overdrank, became nasty. So he was alcoholic, anxious, and he was a womanizer. And after his coaching, he said, Riana was an essential part of helping me to love myself and to rebound after a very difficult divorce, which he made difficult, by the way. I was dating the wrong type of women and ended up depressed. After 5 years of trying to move on from myself and my kids, I reached out to Coach Riana. And this is when his kids were so angry at him, they both stopped talking to him. Today, my life is totally different. It's wonderful to see my kids happy and successful. And I have an amazing woman in my life who I treasure. Riana's coaching was well worth the investment I made to finally feel so fantastic and confident about my life and myself. And he is engaged to a really good lady. To create the life you desire and have the love you deserve, it begins by breaking free of any emotional triggers from your past childhood or love traumas. Learn the Mindset for Success conscious awareness and learn the dating and relationship skills to succeed in love. Here's this pictorial roadmap I came up with using the Mindset for Success system. I love some of the photos that I find because they really do speak a lot of feelings, brings up some emotions. First thing is getting an idea into your head. Something happens, right? A thought happens. You choose, this thought makes me happy or this thought makes me sad. And you get to choose. That's step 1. This is what we call you choose living in the light or you choose living in the dark. If you're living in the dark, you react with emotional triggers. You're yelling, you're screaming, you're angry. Toxic behavior occurs. So that's what happens if you have unhealed trauma. Then you bring it home to your relationship. This is the arrow going down. And then the relationship breaks up. You're upset that you're lonely. You're afraid to go out and date, and it shows up as work as well, because when you have toxic behavioral patterns, it shows up everywhere. Now, let's take the green arrow where you choose happy or sad. Let's say you're choosing the positive thought patterns. You're saying, despite whatever happens, despite this guy ghosting me, and this is the woman with the heart around her head, I love myself. I know I'm a good person. I know I'm worthy of fantastic love. I know this man's not for me because he was rude enough to do that, and I deserve respect. So I am gratefully happy to release him in love and wish him well, and I am moving on. Then she has another date, and it happens to work out well. Her confidence is up with the Mindset for Success. She's empowered in business. She likes where she is. She gets married. She has her family. Her family stays together because she has the skills of working through relationship issues. And that's what we define living an abundant life. So there's my picture of my roadmap of your choices, guys. This is the choice. either to have the abundant life or continue toxic behavior patterns. So it's clear you've got choices, and we are 100% responsible for making better, more educated choices in life and partner selection. So you're not the victim. You're choosing to date toxic people if that's what you end up with. So you have to be educated. And the Mindset for Success system is the basis of living a more confident, conscious, and evolved life in all areas. So I plead with you, don't move forward in life or love blindly, because unconscious behaviors and decisions come from normalized past emotional triggers are dangerous for life, business, dating, and relationships. You must learn to become consciously aware in all your life areas, and all of these are totally interrelated. So if you have had ongoing pain, whether it's stress at work or feeling lonely or toxic anger, depression, anxiety, just feeling hopeless, you want to stop the ongoing emotional pain. You have a choice to do that, because there is help for this. And that's what I've dedicated my life to helping all my clients with this. You learn new life balance and how to have emotionally healthy love. You balance it all. So after 21 years of experience and training and research and becoming the licensed mental health counselor, licensed and certified as a coach for both singles and couples in 2009 and 2010, then becoming the CCTP and then the mindset coach. Between all of it and my study for 40 years, I found the solutions to heal the past trauma. And I teach the Mindset for Success system, and I put it into my programs, Dating to Mating for singles and Relationship Rescue Coaching for couples, both full throughout the whole thing. We were constantly working on mindset. So if you're in a coupled relationship tonight, I definitely would suggest you sign up for a Life and Love Transformation Discovery session with your partner. I'd like to do them separately because I need to get to the bottom of both your traumas. So then I know what's triggering you as a couple. But the bottom line is you can have it all: success in life, business, and love. And it begins with boldly facing your fears and the facts from the past, having no guilt around it or shame. We're looking at it as facts. That's it. And understanding them, why you do what you do, equating it to the past, and bringing in the spiritual love and forgiveness for self and others. So you stop the pain, the fear, the frustration, which causes 9 out of 10 people to stay stuck exactly where they are. And you can take today's immediate useful information to start your lasting transformation in life, love, and business now. The transformation goals are this. You might relate to some of these or all of them. Fear and frustration is transformed into that confident and conscious mindset. If there's doubt, it goes to success, because we set up the goal-setting plan and the mindset is fueling your plan to make you reach success. We take the negative mindset that's depressed and we make it positive. Since many of you are now at home, are you wondering what a home profession would be like? Have you ever thought of coaching? I have developed an amazing coaching mentoring program to get you started in coaching or help you to excel to global status. To inquire, just go to rianamilne.com and check out the mentoring tab, and then contact me with a list of what you would like help with. This is a personalized, customized, and individual coaching program to help you get your new or existing virtual dream job off the ground. Why not go for it? How much time do we have to live our dreams? Start today. Just go to rianamilne.com, the mentoring tab, and create the list you need me to coach you on to begin your virtual global dream job from home today. That's rianamilne.com, rianamilne.com, the mentoring tab, to create the life you desire now. Anxiety and depression ends up being peace and calm with all the different techniques that we use, and that underlying feeling of not being good enough lends to new purpose in life. Okay, so we do a ton of transformation, and those are just a few of the examples. Lisa writes, 18 months ago, I was struggling, lost, and helpless. Riana's supportive coaching techniques led me to find myself and make positive lifestyle changes after a difficult divorce. She had a 23-year marriage, very, very toxic partner. Because of her incredible insight to life issues and her ability to express direction in her coaching program, I gained the strength I needed to move forward and feel amazing. Today, I'm stronger, happier, and love myself more than I ever have. I'm now in a wonderful, emotionally healthy, evolved relationship and know exactly what to do to attract this type of love into my life. And she had an amazing career. She was a top executive in Atlantic City in the casino industry. She hated her work. It's funny. I said, well, what's your dream job? She goes, believe it or not, I want to be a flight attendant. I said, then let's make you a flight attendant. She goes, I'm old. Who's going to want to hire me? I'm overweight. Well, she lost 60 pounds with me. We found out Spirit, the only airline in the Atlantic City area, was interviewing for clients. I said, you will be at that interview. We found that out in early December. It was an early January interview process. Over 250 people showed up. They were only choosing 10, and Lisa was one of the 10. She's now retired, but she's been with her partner that she met 9 years ago. I mean, these are the stories that happen, and I always love talking to her too. She's one of my Atlantic City coaching clients. I'm going to invite you to be a part of the family by giving you an invitation to the Mindset for Success Life and Love Transformation Program. And this is for those who want to know more and how they can learn this life-altering system too. Because you'll go from trauma to transformation. There's 5 total training modules. This is the virtual dating to mating group program, which we all call just DTM. It's life transitions in modules 1 to 3 to create a confident, conscious, evolved, and successful you. And briefly in part 1, again, we eliminate the stress, anxiety, depression, negative trauma response, while at the same time increasing your self-esteem, confidence, communication, self-love, your social skills. You're going to learn the positive mindset for success from day one. I start it right away. In your very first lesson, we go into it because it's that important. We start accomplishing your goals in module 2 with a proven step-by-step process to stay calm yet focused during tough transitions and feel amazing about yourself in the process. We tap into higher purpose and motivation in life, career, and love. And it's the conscious, spiritual, evolved mindset for success. That's what we do. Awake to Awareness is called Module 1. What's the leading causes for your concerns in life, business, and relationship? Why is your past childhood and relationship trauma have direct correlation to your suffering in life, love, or business? And again, we do 20 pages of assessments to get to the bottom of this. Learning about your emotional triggers from your past and why they're happening so we can fix them, and changing your feelings and your response patterns so that lessens your anxiety, your fears, your doubts, and increases positivity, your energy, your purpose, and your overall health. Module 2 is about personal transformation, reaching that with focused, consistent goal setting in all life areas. We break every area of your life down. We do the ratio of where you think you are now and brainstorm 2 to 3 ways and how we can improve each area of your life. And we start chopping away at those goals. And it teaches you to stay calm in difficult transitions. You learn the mindset of thinking outside of the box, going to a plan B, knowing challenges will happen, and you just smoothly go on to the next plan. Module 3 is about the conscious and spiritual mindfulness piece. We went into some of that tonight, but there's so much more. So that's about your self-esteem, confidence, positivity, the way you think, the way you react. It's so essential to feel your best, changing negative thoughts into positive ones, learning the good from the bad, forgiving the past, choices and actions that will lead you to happiness and success, and achieving the boundaries that you need to move into life, to live large and have a fabulous life and say yes to yourself more often, and leaving the guilt behind that you learned in childhood. Part 2 is the dating and relationship success part for singles, modules 4 and 5. So you're going to learn the exact proven success strategy to gain dating confidence and attract an emotionally healthy partner. And I dig really deep on this from a lot of research. You're going to learn what is love addiction, what is obsession, what does emotionally healthy partner look like, what are you exactly looking for? So you're breaking free from or stop attracting toxic partners who break your heart. You're going to stop trauma-related triggers and negative behaviors that sabotage you. You're going to know the exact questions to ask while dating to uncover any toxic personality types, discover the qualities of a great partner. You're going to reinvent yourself to become a confident and emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious signal in all life areas before that dating happens. You're going to choose successful, emotionally healthy person who respects you and admires you and your work, who is supportive of your goals and your efforts and sees a future vision with you. Okay, that's important. Module 4, we go into defining your new requirements, wants, and needs for the ideal relationship and lifestyle that you want. Change any faulty relationship patterns like codependency, love addiction, obsession, control, or jealousy. How to avoid the dating traps that get you in trouble. There's 14 of those. How to be a conscious dater and know exactly what to do to attract emotionally healthy, evolved partner. Flirting and attracting a great partner. Some people have social anxiety or really shy. We're going to teach you exactly what to do, and also go deep into online dating techniques since it's so popular and done today. And module 5 is success in dating and establishing the emotionally healthy relationship. So 10 things to find your perfect mate, your dating and attraction plan, where you're going to meet them, the dating for success. And in group, the groups are small. It's not a lot of people. I'm not a coach that wants 200 in a class. We have 5 to 10 people. That's it. Because that way I coach you every class. I know where you live, what you're looking for. Are you in the country? Are you in the city? Where are you going to find this person? I do personal dating for everyone on the 90-minute calls, right? So everyone gets coached every time we have coaching class. You'll learn the competencies, social dating skills, effective communication rules to get through difficult issues, how to talk through things, and tips for better quality and passionate sex life. The overall results are to feel amazing about yourself, your life, your career, and also to attract an evolved and conscious partner. You'll learn to have happy, sustainable relationships. Like I said, when my people pick their partner, they're going to be sustainable, or they're going to recognize their red flags and get out of it before too much time has gone on. And if there's issues, they're going to learn to talk them through. And if they state their issues clearly, their opinion, and their partner refuses, then they will leave the relationship. They have the strength to leave and say, nope, this is not for me. They recognize it. You live an overall balanced life between you, me, and us, and of course your work. You're fully committed to emotionally present for your partner. You're responsible and able to address your own needs. You're proactive and honest in communicating your feelings when you need to apologize. Your wants, your needs, and your desires. You look at your relationship as a team, and you know the skills to be involved in mind, body, and spirit. You resolve all your past negative trauma and triggers so that you have a positive mindset for success. So the program I'm inviting you to join me is the 4-month Dating to Mating for singles. And you would receive the 90-page workbook. My 6-month program is called Diamond Level, and they get 150 pages. Why the difference? Because we just don't have enough time to do 150 in 4 months in group. It has to be shorter. But there's 90 proven exercises to uncover, change, and stop past triggers that block your success in life, career, and dating. There's 7 90-minute bi-weekly online coaching sessions and Q&A. So how that's set up is I teach a lesson on that module. Then we go around and we get everybody's wins that they've worked on for the past 2 weeks and what are they celebrating. Then we go around again and each one is coached. And there are times I'm on that call 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because I am there for you guys to make sure you get what you need. And that's why the transformation happens. That's why my clients know that I care. I give them the time that they need. I'm not one of those clients that's like, the hour's up. Okay, I got to go. No, if I feel I need to go 10 more minutes, a half hour, an hour more in group, that's what we do. There's 5 training modules online. It's at the Life and Love Transformation Center. It's my online school. It's very cool, very easy put together. It's step-by-step, starting with PowerPoint. Then there's the video, and then there's audio, and then there's exercises, and there's always a bonus video to give you more education. So between the coaching hours alone that I give and the support online and all the stuff in your program and the notebooks and my books, it's a $15,000 value alone. Also, you get the Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams ebooks given to you, and me as your coach. And I'm known as a compassionate coach who cares. about you and your life. So don't wait another minute to create the life you're passionate about or to have the love you deserve. DTM is worth easily over $15,000, and it's well worth the investment because it changes your life. Your happiness, you'll use this for the rest of your life. I only offer it once a year now because my schedule has been so busy. So it's a fall offering only. So if you don't do it now, you're waiting a whole nother year. So now you have 7 90-minute plus hours with me for 4 months from September through December. So we're getting you geared up for the holiday season. It's a perfect time to do this. So you will be ready and out there dating October, November, December, which is the perfect time to have a partner. And ladies, by the way, it's the number one time when men are looking for a female partner because they don't want to go through the holidays alone. So this is scheduled as it is for a reason. There is a payment plan to make it easier for those that need that. There are bonuses because that's who I am. I want to encourage you to educate yourself, to be a lifelong learner, to feel amazing about yourself. This is my life. This is my passion work, to make people reach their dreams. I've been doing it since my 20s, since I had a model and talent school and agency. I help people with their dream. Here are the bonuses to entice you to invest in full. Right now, during this class promotional period, you're going to get a private 1-hour session with me. If you have not had the Life and Love Transformation Assessment, which is breaking down the childhood trauma, we will do that. And I know I've had a lot of family on here that have been here forever. If you finally are doing DTM now and you've done that assessment with me, then we will do a coaching hour with you to get your mind and your goals set up for the class. So either way, whatever you need. There's an attendance bonus, and I do this to encourage you to make sure you make every class. Why? Because I know when I invest in a coach, and Lisa Sachovich, my business coach, was $85,000 for a year. People are like, oh my God, you're going to do that? You shouldn't do that. And I said, yeah, I could buy 2 cars, but I could also have the life I really want. I could also take this Del Rey practice of being a psychotherapist stuck in this insurance world that I hate and become global and do coaching, which I really love, which is educational and motivational, and really do the spiritual mindset work that I love to do. I took that risk and I had no anxiety about that investment. I was really happy. It's like, I am thrilled to be doing this and I am going to succeed. Why? Because I decided this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. When you make a decision and you have the mindset, you follow through. I decided when I signed up with John Lee Dumas as a coach, I would do at least 100 podcasts. It was grueling sometimes. There was weeks I didn't want to do it. If I had a 2-week vacation, I had to do 5 shows before I went. It was 14, 15-hour days to get those pumped out. But I decided and was dedicated to the process. And our 7 Ds for success: decide, determination, dedication, devotion, dare to dream, drive when it gets hard. This is part of the mindset for success. We use all of it. When you show up on class and are there for every class, I like to reward that. It's a $1,000 post-graduation private 1-hour session where any other last minute questions you have, we go over. We look at your next 6 months. Any other questions come out? How's your dating going? We go into all of that. Then there's a conscious red flag checklist, which helps you to easily identify any toxic things that come up when you're dating. That is one of my favorite tools in the whole 150-page notebook. And then the 10 essential questions you must ask on your first date. So from day one, you are not making mistakes when you're going out on your date. What's it cost you to wait or say no to yourself? It costs you everything. Time, which you can't get back. That's the most important thing you're losing. More aggravation and frustration, more loneliness, more bad dates with toxic people or a breakup of the relationship that you're not happy in, not marrying, or low self-esteem and confidence because you're staying stuck, living in fear and negativity, ACEs, which we call adverse childhood events for your children if a toxic person comes into your life, marrying a partner who's not good for you or your kids, introducing trauma into their life, financial hardship, which happened to me, because I made that mistake because I didn't have the system. I would have paid anything to have known this before that marriage. That marriage cost me $200,000 and a lot of aggravation and a bankruptcy that I didn't cause. Are you kidding me? I would have gladly have paid that before I went through what I went through. More anxiety, stress, and depression. So your clock is ticking, whether you're younger and you want marriage and a family, or you're older and you really hope to have a fabulous partner to move forward in life. It doesn't matter your age. My oldest client, Bob, was 73. I usually put his picture in here. He sends me all the pictures from his cruises on white nights with his girlfriend. He said, Riana, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. And why did I wait to 73 years old? Hopefully none of you keep waiting and putting yourselves on hold anymore. It's time you learn this system. You're always welcome to come to my classes. They're free. You're always welcome to come in and learn. But until I get to work with you and dive deep with you, I want to move you beyond that. Some of the top questions I get, well, what if I don't have the time? You have to decide and be dedicated to the time. Now, our classes start September 14th. You can schedule out every other Monday night on your calendar now and let nobody get in the way. You decide, just like I do on my Tuesday night marketing class with Mark Lack. I do nothing on Tuesday night, but I'm on my class, dedicated. And he says, Riana, you're a rock star. You come every week. How do you think I got a millionaire coach on my podcast? Because I was dedicated to him and I showed up and I said, Mark, on my podcast, he goes, you know what? I love your dedication, your work ethic. I'd be glad to go on your podcast. People can't get Mark Lack on a podcast. Let me tell you, my coaches get to know me personally. I was at John Lee Dumas's at his girlfriend Kate's home in Puerto Rico. At a mastermind I was invited to. Why? Because I'm a dedicated student. And when you're a dedicated student, life turns around. So you make the time. Because I always say, if not now, when? Right? So you do that. And if you can't make it, if there's an emergency, you can submit your questions ahead of time. I will answer them in the class. And every class is recorded that we can send out the tape if you've missed it. Will it work for you? All I say is, are you dedicated? Because I have hundreds of testimonials on rianamilne.com. You're always invited to go read them of how DTM works, whether you're in diamond level, platinum, or online group. Online group is the most economic way to work with me as a coach. No, it's not private lessons like my platinum or diamond level, but it's the same workbook. You're getting Live and Love, and you're getting my coaching in a small, intimate class setting. So believe me, my DTM clients are excelling the group just like my private clients. What if you don't have the money? You find it. Was the 85 grand easy for me to come up with? No, I used a couple credit cards. I pulled from retirement. I did this. I did some moves. I said, I am doing this. I am finding a way. Consider the price of leaving alone or never getting married or all the work or no play in your life. It's time to make yourself a priority and say yes to yourself. And if you need to, use the investment plan. It's 4 payments of $415. Throw it on your charge. I can't tell you how many people get job offers and promotions just by their energy levels being up. And when they go for their jobs, they get them because I job coach you. Who this is not for, there are some people that should not enroll. Those that don't want to show up in class. If you're not sitting in on the video and being here in my class, it's too hard to coach you. I don't want people sitting in the dark as you're in your class. It just can't work. Our group becomes so close. You build very good friendships. You're accountability partners for each other. So you have to show up and attend class, because if you're missing classes, you're not going to get the value out of it. Be on time, stay to the end. If you do that, I give you that coaching session at the end because I think it's that important. Those that don't want to do their homework, your workbook sheets are extremely educational. There's a ton of value in it. They called it the gold book for a reason, because you will come up with things to discuss with us in class from the workbook, spurring those questions. So if you don't complete them, you'll fall behind. And class is paced every 2 weeks for a reason. You have plenty of time to do the worksheets. It maybe takes you an hour out of 2 weeks, because I don't want you rushing through. I want you giving your time and attention because it's for you. It's for your growth. And then those who refuse to try their new skills, if you keep insisting on doing it the old way and you don't open your mind to trying what me and the research is trying to coach you to do, then you may not get the results. So you need to come open heart, open mind, excited to learn, very open to try everything that I'm teaching you, because one skill builds on the next, which builds on the next. They're all important. We're working with the brain. So all these techniques come together to make the shift. It doesn't happen all at once. You have to be patient with the process, but when you do them all, they all start coming together. It's kind of hard to explain. You just have to trust me. I've been doing this for years. Are you single and totally frustrated with the dating scene? Are you tired of not knowing what's wrong when it comes to dating and finding love? If you think COVID is getting in the way of you dating successfully, the reality is more and more singles want an exclusive partner now more than ever. So are you really ready for love? However, before learning the dating skills you probably have never learned in school or from your parents, it's the mindset for success you need to learn first. But don't worry, because both sets of skills are in the Dating to Mating Life and Love Transformation Program for singles. With the healing of any past childhood or love trauma and boosting of your self-esteem and confidence while you're creating a life that you love, this is all necessary to attract the emotionally healthy partner that you desire. You do need both life and love skills, and that's what the Dating to Mating Fall Group offers. It starts Monday, September 14th, and registration is happening now. Hurry, just a few spaces are left in this private small group held in my Zoom classroom. It's a 4-month program with 7 90-minute sessions of coaching with me. Email me for more details at rianamilne@gmail.com. That's rianamilne@gmail.com. rianamilne@gmail.com, because the time is now to create the life you desire and to have the love that you deserve. Okay, in short, you'll have everything you need for yourself to end the traumas that have impacted you your entire life and recreate your life, your career, the way you experience love and dating using this Mindset for Success system. So this is what you get in the program. And again, it's online on Zoom, and this is how we hold our classes. Leah was one of my clients. She gave me an update in July. She says she's been with her guy since last November. So I'm really excited about that. She says, I love Dating to Mating Life and Love Transformation Program for singles. The program's helped me understand that many of my previous dating mistakes were due to my past. The well-organized course starts by fixing the root of your problems, truly transforming yourself. The group support is fantastic, and I wished I would have invested years ago on this course. Love, Leah. Now, she was on a business trip in Barcelona and signed in at 3 a.m. She goes, I wouldn't think of missing this class. This lights me up for the next 2 weeks. So she did very well, and it's paying off for her. Nicole was in our group last year. She said, thank you for the Dating to Mating course, seeing the connection of my past to things I currently have done now and how to make those subconscious things conscious so I can change them is really valuable. I was not good at identifying actual versus perceived red flags, and sometimes I was quick to dismiss someone without really giving them a fair shot, or fell in lust too quickly and got hurt. I feel the live coaching were the most important part of the group program, to hear the questions by others and the answers and how they relate to your own experiences. This group interaction gives you a comparison with others and the ability to talk about your specific concerns. I have many changes coming up in my life, and I have a more positive outlook and less fear about these upcoming changes. I greatly appreciate all of Riana's fantastic advice and words of wisdom. She's a kind, caring person who really wants the best for everyone and is in tune with the needs of each person. I am grateful to have this fabulous experience. Do say yes to yourself today. Heal any past childhood or love trauma. Get the Mindset for Success skills that will benefit you the rest of your life. It's time to have the life you're passionate about and the love that you do deserve, and I don't want you settling anymore. I woke up one night with this poem and I had to write it down. It's time to say yes to yourself. Time to stop living in frustration, fear, anxiety, and depression. To increase your confidence with a Watch Me Mindset for Success. Make every day count, to live stress-free and with purpose and passion. To be evolved, to be the best you can be in life, career, and in love. To love yourself enough to invest in the gift that will change your life. Overcome fear of dating by learning how to attract the ideal partner. Valuable research-based information to succeed in life and love, and the exact skills you need to have an amazing relationship of your dreams. It's time to have the love that you deserve. Fall term starts Monday, September 14th, goes to December 7th. Link you use to enroll, TTM Fall 2020. You'll get the 2 one-hour bonus coaching sessions, pre and post sessions. You're going to start reading your Live Beyond Your Dreams book. You'll get that sent to you from me as soon as you enroll. And what we'll also do, once you enroll, I reach out to you personally. We pick the time to do your pre-coaching session. Then at that time, I will give you the Live book to start reading. And then you get your 2 information sheets at that time as well. Let's go into Q&A. Okay, Renee has a question. And would that question be for me, Natalie, or Casey?
For you. Hi, Riana. I really got a lot out of your workshop to your podcast or whatever you want to call this. And I'm just curious, if we enroll in this, you said that we get to talk to you. How many personal, like one-on-one sessions?
Yeah, you have one before we start the group. And then the group is 5 to 10 people max. I stop it at 10 people. Everybody is on the group at the same time. But we do coaching sessions for everyone every week, 7 classes every 2 weeks. And then at the end, we have a post session when you attend every class. So that's another private class. My graduates have an opportunity to continue onward if they would like. It's called the 50-50 graduation program, where they can get 50 15-minute sessions, which are like quick calls, or they could do a half hour, 45 minutes. Their choice is very flexible. If they're going through something and they want my time or attention, or they're dating someone, they want to run that by me. So there's always the graduate program where you can come back.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, my pleasure.
Any other questions from anyone? Okay. Natalie, did you want to say anything? Do you want to say a few words?
I think more than anything, just the self-love. It's a very personal thing. And for me, it was, at the end of the day, it was like, what am I giving to myself? What am I doing with my life? How can I improve my life? And it kind of went from trying to help myself and help me be a better, from an external perspective, how can I be better in life? And what I'm getting out of it is, how can I be better for myself from the inside? It's like feeling it from who I am and how I'm living life, rather than watching myself from the outside and judging myself. Where am I in life? It turned to an inner spiritual happiness from the inside. Am I making the right decisions for me, rather than for making an apparently nice life? You know, we all see success, other people's success, and it's like, oh, that's nice, that's nice. We all see what they're doing for others, but we never question, is that person really happy from the inside? And that's what attracted me to you, Riana. It was like you're speaking from your soul. Your happiness radiates, and the truth and who you are. It's just like that, what you bring to others, you just light up in a way that's very different from other people that I listen to and have, you know, had the opportunity to be coached by or be coached in various ways. When I heard you, it was like a really sincere place. And working with you, I'm getting that for me now. I'm feeling that I'm working from the inner me rather than who I was on the outside me, trying to check off all these boxes in life. It made me focus on me and who I was. So I just want to thank you for everything here so far. And what I want to let everyone know is just, you won't even know the transformations until you do the course. So, you know, you can sit there thinking, oh, what am I going to get for this money? Or, you know, how am I going to do? If you put the work in, the transformations will amaze you. It will take you to places that you probably never even expected to go. So if you're willing to put in the work, I would say just don't question it. When you question something, most often you're questioning yourself. So I probably would advise you just to go in within yourself and find that peaceful space and ask yourself, is this the right thing for me? And you will know if it's the right time for you. Yeah.
Thank you, Natalie, for sharing that. That's so important.
Yeah,
and it's interesting you brought up when you question it, we know where that's coming from. It's the childhood wounds, the unconscious pulling you back into what's normal for you. And you're resistant to the change. So during the classes, I have to coach you. I have to educate. It's not a therapy session. It's a lot of teaching based on the particular problems you have that you're bringing to me when we identify what the childhood wounds are. And then each step, each process builds on the next, which makes you stronger and stronger each time we have a session. That's kind
and
of
that helped me. Yeah. And that really helped me remain neutral. So I wasn't getting all emotional and attaching my own judgments to it. So in that teaching capacity, you're teaching the facts, and then I'm approaching it from that factual point as well. So I'm like, okay, emotions aside, what's right and what's wrong and what's good and what's not good. And that's what's helping me go even faster with everything.
Yeah, you're doing phenomenal. I'm so proud of all of you guys. Like, you grow so quickly, so fast. Like, it's really wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Casey, did you want to share anything that came up in chat or any words of wisdom?
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of piggybacking on what you said about the childhood trauma piece, like, I am a pretty mindful person and I'm already a pretty spiritual person, but I had no idea what the childhood trauma piece was playing in my life. I watched myself go through these patterns, but I couldn't figure out what was creating them and like why I couldn't break them. And after working with you and understanding how the childhood trauma has played such a huge role in my mindset, now I can watch myself go through it from a conscious perspective and be like, oh, that's what's happening right now. This is what's happening. This is stemming from something from a long time ago. I need to reparent myself and let's reframe this. And before I knew that, it was more of a like beating myself up kind of thing rather than having compassion for myself now. And that has been a game changer for me, is understanding the childhood trauma.
Yeah. You had some tough childhood stuff come up with a particular parent, and that reparenting piece for you was very big. Learning to speak to yourself with love and compassion. If you got triggered, where that's coming from, understanding it, correcting it right away. You're making wonderful strides. You're going to be fantastic in your new coaching business as well. I know you are. And John, you're on the call tonight. You're one of my clients as well. I don't know if you wanted to say a few words. You're a newer client. Anything that came up for you that you'd like to share?
Yeah, thank you for putting this together. Yeah, I think probably overall it resonated a lot what Casey said about just understanding the childhood trauma. When I initially kind of did one of these quizzes and realized how many I had, and it just totally normalized those as, oh, no big deal, whatever, for a lot of years. I mean, it took a long time until I was getting out of a toxic relationship a couple of years ago that I even realized, like, why did all that happen? Why did I react this way? And that was kind of the catalyst of even embarking on some of these self-improvement journeys. But that thus far has been immensely helpful, just understanding where a lot of those things came from, that I wasn't even aware of for a good chunk of time.
Yeah. You're with me now, and you're learning a lot every step of the way. And we're going to get you guys feeling even amazing. These three are not even in the love and dating portion yet. They're only in part 1. And this is the transformation already. So the mindset work, like I said, is the most important, where we change all those feelings that were destructive and harmful and fear-based or condescending to self, the unworthiness feeling that is so hurtful. And when we get that really empowered feeling, now you go out on your dates and you're feeling amazing. That's how it comes together. Yeah. Any other questions, anybody?
I was just thinking about the childhood trauma, which I know I really need to go really discover. I even got your book and I was reading about all the childhood trauma kinds of situations. And I know that's something that I really need to uncover to understand.
So it's awesome you're
why
here.
My pattern has been disastrous.
You're going to learn so much in the 1 hour.
Thank
All
you.
3 of these people have done the first discovery session. And there's 5 assessments that you have to do. You'll give me a lot of answers on that. We sit down private 1 hour on Skype. We go over them. I equate to what you're going through now. And that's the first step. That's called the Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session. Knowing what the mindset for success is now. Where do you think it's impacting you the most in life, love, or business, and why? If you're brand new like you, Renee, you have not done the discovery session, you absolutely must do that because it's so powerful. That's a 1 hour session. You only do it once because we discussed your childhood. Once you got that part, you got it. Love Beyond Your Dreams, Break Free of Toxic Relationships to Have the Love You Deserve is a 5-star rated book and quoted as the guidebook on love. An Amazon #1 bestseller, this book clearly tells you who to date or avoid and why, how to heal from toxic partners, how to date to attract an emotionally healthy partner, and how to have loving, safe, fabulous, and sustainable relationships. Over 400 pages of eye-opening facts based on research that will change the way you love. Available in paperback on Amazon.com and in BN.com, in the Barnes & Noble bookstore, and on e-readers, Kindle, and Nook. Get your copy now and read it cover to cover, because it's time you have the love that you deserve. And again, I'd like to remind the listeners, you can always read more testimonials at rianamilne.com. You can go there to get the 4 free love tests as well, the free book chapter downloads of Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams, and the free ebook on how to have the love you deserve. And please do go to the Riana Milne channel on YouTube, where you can enjoy over 250 educational podcasts, videotapes, powerful interviews with top coaches and experts in all various kinds of topics in life and love. I think you'll get a lot out of that. I want to say good night and God bless to everyone. Thank you again to Casey and Natalie for agreeing to be my volunteers, students on the call this time. I'm sure with 99 chats going on, you guys were active in there. If I can help any of you listening to this tape as a replay, do reach out to me at rianamilne@gmail.com. I am the compassionate coach that cares, so I am here for you. God bless and have a beautiful night and stay safe out there. Thank you. Okay, love angels and transformers, that's all we have time for today. I appreciate you sharing the love and the mission of helping me change the way the world loves and lives by sending the show link to your friends who you love and care about. Please take a moment to subscribe to the show, and where you can, give me a 5-star rating and a comment on what you like about the show. If you'd like to request a title for an upcoming podcast episode, just go to the lessonsinlifeandlove.com website and use the Contact Me form. You can also easily share the show link from there or my YouTube channel, Riana Milne. Remember, you can reach out for help from me during the week at any time at my website, rianamilne.com. And while you're there, make sure you download the free ebook about how to have the love that you deserve, and take the 4 free love tests that will give you great insight about how you're feeling in life and love. Because as always, I am here to help you create the life that you desire and to have the love that you deserve. Have a very blessed and fabulous week.
We want to thank you for joining us on this episode of Lessons in Life and Love with Coach Riana Milne. Go to rianamilne.com for more resources. And if you're really ready to take action to improve your life or love situation, apply.